The evening of December 31st, 2009, was alive with celebration in St. Louis, Missouri. Across the city, fireworks, laughter, and champagne glasses marked the end of one decade and the beginning of another. For David Anderson, a 29-year-old civil engineer, and his fiancée Sarah Jones, a 27-year-old primary school teacher, it was supposed to be a night of hope and renewal after a year filled with personal and financial struggles. Friends described them as quiet but deeply devoted, a couple whose warmth and kindness made them beloved in their community. They had plans to attend a New Year's Eve party hosted by their close friends, Ryan and Jennifer Carter, just a few miles from their home in central St. Louis. It was the last time anyone would ever see them alive. When the clock struck midnight, guests at the Carters' party raised glasses and cheered. But by 1 a.m., several people noticed that David and Sarah were nowhere to be found. At first, no one thought much of it. The couple might have left early to avoid the post-midnight rush. But by the next morning, when neither showed up for family brunches or answered their phones, alarm began to grow. Their car, a silver Honda Civic, was later discovered abandoned near Forest Park, doors unlocked, engine cold, and the keys still in the ignition. Inside were Sarah's purse, David's jacket, and a half-empty champagne flute, as if time had stopped mid-celebration. The scene sent chills through investigators. There was no sign of a struggle, no footprints, no witnesses. It was as if the couple had simply vanished into the night. Over the next 3 months, police scoured nearby woods, riverbanks, and neighborhoods. Flyers with their faces appeared on lampposts and storefronts across St. Louis. Local news ran nightly updates, but despite nationwide attention, no leads emerged. Detectives questioned Ryan and Jennifer Carter, the last people to see them alive. Both insisted that David and Sarah had left the party around 10:30 p.m. to get some air. Their statements were consistent, and without evidence of foul play, the case went cold. Until a park ranger made a gruesome discovery. On March 14, 2010, a ranger in the outskirts of St. Louis County stumbled upon what appeared to be a shallow grave. Buried inside were 2 bodies, later identified as David Anderson and Sarah Jones. David had been shot once in the chest. Sarah had been strangled. The brutality of the scene left seasoned detectives shaken. But what truly cracked the case was the small piece of evidence found beside them, a silver locket engraved with the initials RC. When detectives traced the initials, they were led straight back to Ryan Carter, David's longtime friend and business partner. Ryan initially dismissed it, claiming the locket had been stolen from his home months before. But inconsistencies in his story began to surface. During interrogation, his wife, Jennifer Carter, broke down. Through tears, she revealed the dark truth that had been festering for months. Ryan had recently lost a significant investment in a construction deal that he and David had planned together. When David and Sarah decided to move to Chicago for a new opportunity, Ryan blamed them for his financial ruin. Worse, he believed that Sarah had been secretly seeing him behind his back, a suspicion never proven but one that consumed him. On New Year's Eve, Ryan invited the couple under the pretense of reconciliation. But when tempers flared, rage took over. He shot David in anger and strangled Sarah to silence her screams. After the murders, he buried their bodies in a wooded area and returned to the party. Calm, collected, and ready to ring in the new year as if nothing had happened. Ryan Carter was arrested in May 2010, after forensic testing matched soil from his SUV tires to the burial site. During his trial, he appeared emotionless as prosecutors detailed his crime, a blend of jealousy, betrayal, and revenge. He was convicted on 2 counts of first-degree murder and sentenced to life imprisonment without parole. Jennifer Carter, who cooperated with investigators, received 5 years for obstruction of justice and later changed her name after being released. 15 years later, St. Louis residents still remember the case that shattered the illusion of safety among friends. A small memorial now stands at Forest Park, engraved with the couple's names and the words, "Forever in our hearts." Every New Year's Eve, families gather there to light candles, a quiet reminder that beneath the noise of celebration, tragedy once hid in plain sight. The disappearance of David Anderson and Sarah Jones wasn't just a story of murder. It was a lesson about how anger and envy can rot even the strongest of bonds. In the end, the new year that promised fresh beginnings for some became a haunting symbol of how revenge destroys not only lives, but souls. If this story moved you or made you think twice about the faces behind the smiles, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another true crime story like this one. Thank you for watching. And remember, new beginnings should never end in silence.